Hi everyone, in this video we're going to look at bar graphs, and the basic idea with this is if you're watching statistics or you read something in a magazine, a lot of times you'll have to process information in a graph. And so what I thought would be helpful is if we looked at a scenario where you're given data, it might be helpful to see how to build the graph, and then it will be easier for you to answer questions about bar graphs moving forward. So imagine you just did a survey of your friends to find which kind of movie they liked best. This information that I'm using today is from mathisfun.com. So I'm going to copy and paste the link here so that if you want to see more of this data and see a really pretty graph of this activity, you can look at it at the link provided. So this survey that you did with your friends provided information about what kind of movies they liked. The different types of survey options they had was comedy, action, romance, drama, and sci-fi. Let me change the color on drama to yellow. That way every subject has a different color. Okay, so I've highlighted comedy in blue, action in orange, romance in pink or magenta, drama in yellow, and sci-fi in green. Now, those are different types of movies, and then we have the number of people who liked each one. So 4 liked comedy, 5 liked action, 6 liked romance, 1 liked drama, and 4 liked sci-fi. So I'm going to just draw myself a little XY axis here. And this just gives me kind of a straight edge so I can draw my different scenarios. The number of people that liked this would probably make most sense to have as a vertical count, because you want your bar graphs to represent how many people liked each item. And then the items or the movie preferences would go along the bottom. And so each one of these movies is going to be represented by a different height based on the number of people who liked it. So if they liked that type, we'll say. So you can label these in kind of your own words. So I said, how many people liked that type of movie? And so then you have to figure out what your scale is going to be. So you need to look at the range of data. What's your high and low? So the high is 6 and the low is 1. So if I wanted to fit it on this table, I need to maybe think, well, if I make each one of these lines here 1, will I be able to fit it on here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just barely. So I can use the scale provided and I won't run out of space. If my scale had, if my graph area had been shorter, then I would need to be very careful that I was scaling my height appropriately. So maybe each one of these rows would, or marks here, would need to be like 2 or 3 counts on the table. But I think we can fit them all on here. So we'll start with comedy, and comedy was 4. So I'm going to make a bar that's 4 notches high, and then I'm going to fill it with that color. It was blue for comedy. And I'm also going to say underneath that this is comedy. So it's important to keep track of what each bar represents. So comedy was the first one. Now I'm going to go to action. Action, I'm going to make another bar, and I'm going to try and make them, oops. Let me try that again. I'm going to try and make these approximately the same width, but height will depend on how many preferences there were. So the width is about the same, but it's going up to 5 now because there were 5 people who liked action. Then I'm going to fill it in with orange because that was the color for people who liked action. Now I'm going to move on to romance. Romance, there were 6 people, most popular apparently. Again, I'm trying to make the space in between each bar the same and the width of the bars the same as I do this. That one is 6 high, that's romance. And that was magenta, so I'm going to fill that bar with that color. Now I'm going to move on to drama. So drama is going to be, oops, try that again. Drama is going to be the least favorite, so that box is only going to be 1 high. And I'm going to fill that with yellow because drama we highlighted in yellow. And then the last one is sci-fi. And 4 people liked sci-fi. So again, I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4 units. Try and get my spacing very accurate as I can. And I'm going to highlight that one or fill that bar graph in green. That's sci-fi. All right, so that's how you would build a bar graph. Now, I've worked with statisticians before, and when they do analysis on a class or they're trying to figure out information about the statistics surveyed, a lot of times they'll stick the data number directly above the bar. So in this case, we would just put 4 here above comedy, 5 above action, 6 above romance, 1 above drama, and 4 above sci-fi. This will allow you to identify what the actual bars represent statistically. Now, the last thing you might be asked is, how many people were surveyed? And this is not obvious unless you realize that every single person has to have an opinion. So that means that 4 people had to be surveyed to get comedy. 5 different people had to be surveyed to get action preferences. 6 more people had to be surveyed to find out that they liked romance most. 1 more person had to be surveyed to find out that only 1 person liked drama movies. And finally 4 people had to be surveyed to find out that they liked sci-fi. Which means that if you add up all these amounts for all these different people surveyed, you would get the total number of people surveyed. So 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 1 plus 4 will give you your total number of people surveyed. So 4, I'm just going to write it out for you. 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 1 plus 4, which is 10, 16. That means that 20 people were surveyed. Now go ahead and try and answer all the questions on bar graphs.